I want you to imagine that you're meeting up with a friend. You tell them 7 p.m. on a Friday, you get there, and they're nowhere to be seen. They tell you, oh, I just ran into a few little things, so I couldn't make it, but we can try again on Saturday. So you go, and then they don't show up again. You keep trying to go out, but they keep being late, or they just don't show up at all. You're getting annoyed at them, so you confront them, and you give them one last chance. It's a week or two later, and you try and meet up on a Friday, so you make them promise to you that they'll be there at 4 p.m. They make the promise, but then you get there, and they're nowhere to be seen. That's you. You're the friend who never shows up. You know when it's midnight and you've got homework due tomorrow and you say, oh, I'll just get up early and do it tomorrow morning, and then you don't. Or maybe when you tell yourself, oh, I'll play some Fortnite now, I can do the washing later, and then you forget and your mum has to do it instead. Or it's all those little times which make you not be able to trust yourself. If you think back to that friend, you wouldn't be friends with him anymore. You wouldn't trust him at all, and you wouldn't be able to believe a thing that he says. And when you're that person to yourself, how can you expect yourself to do anything with yourself? This is one of the most fundamental things that I think is important for everyone to do, and yet we trust ourselves the least. I bet you that around 90% of people don't follow through on their own promises. If you think about it, what does this actually mean then? You don't follow through on your own promises, which means that you can't actually trust yourself, which means that you have no self-respect and you can't get yourself to do anything when you tell yourself to. This is the worst thing you can do for your self-image, and it also translates to the image others have of you. I've got a friend who so many times I've told him to do something and he's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And then he always has some sort of excuse, and it's so annoying. It's always just, oh, I was doing it, but then, and then I forgot. Or, oh, but yeah, I did it, and then I didn't. And the thing is, I know that he can't fulfill his own promises to himself, which is why he can't fulfill his promises to me. Jordan Peterson said, you have to treat yourself like a friend worth treating, or something like that. And this is such a great quote because we have a sort of double standard with ourselves and our friends. We'd quite likely help someone and make a promise to a friend, but we wouldn't do it to ourselves. It's because there's no sort of punishment or social embarrassment that we get when we don't fulfill promises to ourselves, but there is when we do it to friends. But we think there's no punishment to ourselves, but there is. If you never fulfill promises to yourself, then you'll have no respect for yourself. So what you need to do is make sure that every single time you face an opportunity to do something that you want to do, or go and, play video games or whatever, you follow through and do what you actually want to do. This needs to be in every single instance, whether it's something really small or something massive. For example, it's all about the smallest things, like telling yourself that you do the dishwasher and actually doing it. Every single time you tell yourself to do something and you actually do it, it boosts your self-respect and makes you actually want to do things in the long run. You have better self-esteem and you'll be able to get yourself to do things you actually want to do. So there's probably something literally in the back of your mind right now, like going to hang up the clothes or something, which you should be doing. Go and do that now. As soon as you finish this video, keep it in the back of your mind and make sure that you follow through with whatever you said you would go and do. Of course, there are some times when, plans actually change, but that's not what happens most of the time. Be honest with yourself and don't be some annoying guy who just makes some stupid excuse to himself. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Also, if you want to know the secret to how most people get on with hard work, then go and click this video here.